9 people were deliberately murdered by the Iranian terror regime, all civilians, mothers and their children, brothers, dozens were injured, and hundreds were evacuated from their homes. The Iranian terror regime targets its ballistic missiles at civilian populations. This is a regime of murder and terror against its own people and against all the countries of the region. I call on the nations of the world, it's time to sever ties with the Iranian terror regime. Malika, what would you like to say on this?
Vaishali, in the morning, we also saw the Iran's foreign minister posting a picture on the social media where he shows a picture of all these more than 100 girls which were targeted and killed in the Israel and the US missile attack. So he said that this is the true image of what the US is doing, and now we also see Israel's foreign minister. See, this is the psychological warfare, what I read, Vaishali, from both the ends, where they're also trying to get the sympathy. And it's sad because, you know, the civilians are being targeted here, the civilians are being killed here. The IRGC, a lot of commanders have been also wiped out, but you see more than 100 girls have been targeted in these primary schools. Also, the way that Trump and Israel were reiterating, giving reassurance to the civilian population of Iran that we are here to protect you, you pick up weapons against IRGC. Now the IRGC is telling them that this was right the opposite of what was Trump was never trying to protect you. So, you know, this is a very confusing time for Middle East, Vaishali. This is both the ends, at the end of the war, and I think General Sir will be able to focus on that more, is that the civil population, the economy of the country is going to be the most affected.
All right. I will go back now to, of course, Major General J.K. Bansal very shortly. But now, viewers, Kuwait's foreign ministry has condemned in the strongest terms an attack on the U.S. embassy in the country, calling it treacherous and a flagrant violation of all international norms and laws. The statement reads, and I quote, "The ministry reiterates its affirmation of the state of Kuwait's right to take all necessary measures and actions to protect its security, the safety of its territories, its citizens, and the residents therein." You know, Major General Bansal, a lot of people have divided opinions on this, but the question really is that the kind of impact, forget about the loss of lives, that's also an important impact here. Because how can we forget? Innocent children have died, you know, young children. There was a bomb dropped on the school and they've died, about 160 coffins. Who can forget that image? Nobody will forget that for a long time. But the kind of after effects that eventually every country is going to feel. Was this really necessary? Has the US taken the right decision?
You know, up to certain extent, yes, because, you know, three things which you have asked, there were the three conditions: that you don't do the enrichment of any uranium to make a nuclear bomb. Secondly, whatever enriched material you have, about 400 kg, you hand over to us. Secondly, no production of the missiles. And thirdly, the controlling or not supporting the arms, the proxy arm, that is Hezbollah, Houthi, and Hamas. So now, you know, the economy of Iran is completely in shambles, and despite that, they were producing missiles. They were producing, they were supporting Hezbollah and Houthi and Hamas. So, and why they are after Israel? The Iran says that Israel has no right, or they will wipe out, or they will decimate, or they will destroy the complete Israel, and Jews have no right to live in this world. So that is the thing. Secondly, as far as this civilian casualties are concerned, of course, these whatever school children has been killed, I think it was a collateral damage, but there was no, I don't think there was any target attack like this as such, because Iran, this Israel and America, they know very well that they have been telling to the citizens of Iran that stay inside, and they did not have any intention to target. But definitely, whatever the Iran is doing, they are targeting the civil structures. Whether there are the reports, open reports in the Dubai also, and now the countries like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar, they said that yes, we have the right to protect our people and they will respond. So, what Iran is going to achieve by attacking these countries? They are the brotherly and the supportive countries. And of late, there was a kind of agreement and good relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia, which was mediated by China. So, under these circumstances, actually, the mindset is a negative mindset, and the jihadi mindset where they kill the people and they kill their own people also. What happens, everything started on 28th December 2025, when, because the real was collapsed and by the business people or they had a kind of demonstration, and after that it turned into a violent thing, and there are reports about 30,000-40,000 people were killed by Iran, their own people. So it is a brutal regime, not killing their own people also, and they don't have mercy to other. As we have seen, Hamas was also the part of Iran only. Mostly the IRGC commanders were there, and they have killed 1,200 people, and they have abducted 250, and then they were bargaining against them. So this is not a humanly behavior of the IRGC. I will say the IRGC because everything is the IRGC only. Whether you take the Hezbollah, the commander from the IRGC only go to Hezbollah, they are in the Houthi, or they trained Hamas. So I think in one way, if Iran would have not been stopped for making the nuclear bomb, it was the threat to Israel, to America, and other part of the world also. So I think this was the correct step taken by America and Israel to stop Iran's activity in that manner. Back to you.
Major General Bansal, I'll come back to you because this is getting interesting now. Now, according to reports, Saudi Aramco is set to review alternative routes for exports, including via pipeline to Red Sea to avoid Strait of Hormuz. Industry, remember, the Saudi Aramco facility in Ras Tanura oil refinery was hit by Iranian strikes. Before Malika, I want to come to Major General Bansal first. Major General Bansal, you're of course seeing that this was the right decision. Now, my question to you really is that Iran eventually is a sovereign nation, and there are a few things that should have been ideally followed. But my question is that if you're saying that this situation should have been controlled, why does Trump not say anything when it comes to Pakistan? Why is he always quiet?
Definitely, there is that kind of double standard should not be there. When it comes to that, but there is, of course, whatever suits a particular person or the particular nation, they do accordingly. I do agree with you that Pakistan is exporting terror all over the world, but at least they are not openly saying so. In case of Iran, they were openly supporting Hezbollah, Houthi. They are supporting Hezbollah, Houthi, and Hamas and Kataib Hezbollah, and they are the part and parcel of them in a very open manner. So this is that by a state or by a country, how can they do it? And it was the reason that Houthi in Yemen, they were attacking Saudi Arabia, not only the other part, they were attacking Saudi Arabia also. If you see Hezbollah has captured the Lebanon, and now the Lebanon government is saying that please, they are saying you don't act here because of them the Lebanon is suffering. So they are occupying forcefully other countries. They had the network in Israel, they had the network, they had the Hamas, and the Hamas was elected in 2006. Since then, they had made all these the tunnels and all. And if you remember, it's not the Iran; it was the regime, and the kind of statement the Ayatollah Khamenei he made when the Article 370 was removed. He made the statement against India on Kashmir issue. Of course, Iran is our friendly country, but they're radical things are very bad, and that is what there's people were saying, that we don't want any more the mullah regime. the kind of brutality they had in the Mesa Amini
Major
cases.
General
So
Bansal,
the
I get your
Amini-
point, but I'll have to interrupt you. I have to address these two breakings. But I do want to say, Major General Bansal, that at least the country is open about it. When it comes to this incorrigible country called Pakistan, they say something, they do something else, and then they play 10 double games with different countries. But I'll come back to Malika because she seemed to be nodding when I was speaking to you. I think she seems to agree. Major news coming in now. Qatar Energy is set to stop operation of some downstream products in an official statement shared on social media platform X. Qatar Energy stated, and I quote, further to the decision to stop production of LNG and associated products. We're stopping the production of some downstream products in the state of Qatar, including urea, polymers, methanol, aluminium and other products. This comes after 2 of its installations were targeted in northern Qatar earlier this week. And Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has stated that Moscow had still seen no evidence that Iran was developing nuclear weapons